Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Ascension Messages. My name is Bobbie Richardson. I will be your guide for today. Today, we are going to do general reading and free chat readings. If anyone turns up on the chat bar, which I'm sure they will. And so I'm going to go through a general first channeled message and then do a bit of tarot. And then we will go into the free readings as well. So this week, coming from the 22nd of March through to next week, I have been guided last night. It was really interesting. I woke up at 12:30 in the middle of the night, and actually I didn't even get to sleep, to tell you the truth. I was just like lying there. And then this message started pouring through. Hey, Matthew. Started pouring through. So I quickly wrote it up on my my phone in the middle of the night. And also they were giving me these other gifts as well. So it's really interesting. Before I go to bed, I'll just go, tell me the lowdown, what's the energy happening at the moment? And then they tend to bring up the information. So I'm going to read that out in a minute. Hey, Annie. Hey, Heather. But, yeah, the last 4 days, terrible sleep, Matthew. It's been Moon in Virgo, and Virgo mind is, Mercury is very busy. So we're kind of upping the game into being able to handle even more busier mind sometimes. And because my mind is constantly busy, and I've had to learn to control it. If I can control it, you can control it, because I'm Virgo times 5. I literally have Virgo in Mercury. I have Virgo sun rising, Virgo and Venus. It's just nuts. So I've had to deal with a lot of my own mind and being able to learn to still it and accept it when it is busy as well. So this new moon, this full moon that's happening in Virgo at the moment is a lot to do with being able to handle our minds. And we're also, I've also seen an interesting thing happen where people are starting to bring in addictions that they had, say they had got rid of an addiction and they hadn't used it for like 4 or 5 years or something. Excuse me, but it's still been an addiction when it's in your mind and you're fearing it coming back. So for this new frequency that's happening at the moment, I've noticed that people are diving into something that they were addicted to and thought they got over, and just trying it out again, and then finding it's not actually giving them the same oomph as what it did all those years ago. And so they try it and then feel like, well, it didn't really work for me. So I've heard a few stories like that coming into my reality just recently. So I thought I'd bring that up. If you have revisited an old addiction and then brought it back into your life, it could be just so that you can confirm to your mind that it has no power over you. So that's interesting as well. Also, I wanted to bring up, just before I do bring up this message that they gave me at 12:30 in the middle of the night, that I do have a new series, and I'm going to take you through portals into different frequencies. So each video that I have is going to take you into different worlds. And so we're entering into a portal, we're shifting into a different frequency, and they will bring through the information needed for you to know to go through that portal and to reignite your imagination into the reality that we're moving into. So we could be these different realities could be anything from different beings, outer space, different planetary alignments, to elementals, to witches, to new earths, to all sorts of things. So it's very juicy and very exciting. I'm very excited about this. I've spent all weekend working lots and lots and lots of hours on this first video. I even put myself in it doing a little initiation dance for you guys, because of the energies that we're going into with this new portal this new world that we're going to go into. I don't know whether to bring it up or not. It's kind of like exciting, isn't it, that you don't know everything. Everyone seems to know everything that's happening. So I thought I might just leave it to a surprise. This is where we're going through this portal. I'm not sure yet. I might have to title it though. So we'll just see how that all plays out. But that should be premiered on, thinking around Thursday night, my time. So it could be any time for you guys, because I'm in Queensland, Australia time, AEST. Hey everybody, so many people online. That's so fantastic. Annie, Suzette, Yannicka, so good to see you guys at the Fade Shed. Oh my God, I love you guys. You're my family. So cool. So also with that, when I was creating these new videos, it was really exciting because I wanted to put an extra layer, something different on the videos. Now, I'm self-taught with everything. I've been using iMovie for about 4 or 5 years doing these videos. And lo and behold, when I asked for a different layer of something to go on this video, my guides literally told me that I could overlap 2 videos together, and I had no idea that that could happen. And I'm going, really? You can overlap 2 videos together? How's that going to work? And they're like, just try it out. So the next day I tried it out, and voila, do you know, you can overlap 2 videos and you can fade one in the background. And I'm so excited that my guides literally gave me a technical piece of wisdom for me to use. It's amazing. So it's really cool when that happens, because it solidifies that connection even more. I mean, I have a strong connection to my guides, but always my logical brain's like querying, is this real? There's always a little bit of that little doubt, and the doubt is slowly sliding away. The logical brain is coming on absolute, so that it's just this clear channel energy that's coming through me. So very excited to have got that piece of wisdom, put it to practice, and it actually worked. Let's read what they gave me last night. So Bring It Back. This is called Bring It Back. Now I'm wondering, because I haven't actually read it since I wrote it at 12:30 at night, right? So I might have to look into whether I've written this well enough to read. Bring back your real bubble of existence. Stop carrying the weight of the world in your mind. You can't change it, but you can shift your reality to that which magnetizes more love and acceptance. The more you love and accept yourself. We all have moments, we all have flaws. Learn to move through them without clinging to self-doubt and victimization. You are a brilliant light of energy, learning to move through this physical realm. This will always have friction, but only to the point of you confirming boundaries of self-worth. So what they were saying is that they showed me like this bubble, and they said that the more you accept your bubble of love and accept everything in it, we're talking about all the frictions, you know, if we have a bit of a yucky moment or whatever, and you just accept it as part of the story, and the more that you love just being in existence through the story, the more you can become the observer of it. The more you become the observer of it, the more your bubble expands out, because you're now in another level looking down. So then you expand out and your bubble becomes bigger and even more love. And then you can and then you observe that, the observer, and you keep on expanding it out. It's really interesting. And also they were talking about security blankets that we all have. So, and I like how they say, don't carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You cannot shift. The world is only existing to you for real, for this reality, as far as the eye can see, the ear can hear, the nose can smell, the feeling can touch, and your feeling of emotional feeling of your actual reality. That's as far as your reality is for you in existence. Now you bring in somebody, a television, and it says as a program tells you that you have to worry about everyone on the other side of the world. All of a sudden you're in this, oh my God, I can't control that feeling. And it doesn't help your actual existence of what you're creating in your bubble. So keep your bubble to yourself and just expand it from love, from who you are from this point. This is when new gifts are going to start flying in as well. So we're going to get into these new gifts that are coming in as well. They're also telling me that a security blanket. We have been holding on to a security blanket of our logical mind being in charge in reflection. So our leaders are that. Our leaders are because our logical brain has been in charge. So our leaders represent that logical brain and ego being in charge. So the more of us that say we put that security blanket down, they show me like, can you imagine a blanket that you really love as a child, but it's now manky, it's old, it's getting yucky, and it's literally causing you illness because of the bacteria and everything that's in this blanket that you never put down because you think that security blanket's going to keep you safe all the time. That's how they were representing the logical brain. Now we need to let it go. We need to say it's only hurting us now. This new energy, this new frequency that's coming in at the moment is literally meaning that if our logical brain is in charge of our reality, it is going to start hurting us because it's not in conducive energy to the higher frequencies that Gaia is asking us to come with her. Now, when we go into these higher frequencies, we start to ignite these gifts within us. We start to realize that there's more outside of us that we can communicate with. They're bringing up a lot of information about crystalline earth grid structures that are always been holding this information. Now, I was talking to a beautiful soul called Holly just recently, and straight after our conversation about this actual gift that's coming on board for some people, I opened up a book of mine out on my balcony, and it read exactly the same thing that we just talked about. This is how my guides work with me, so that I bring it up with everybody because it's coming from the truth when it's brought up in different ways in my reality. So the whole thing was talking about Atlantis, Lemuria, how it held crystals, and these, when the shutdown happened, when the logical mind had to take over, when we had to learn all about that side of ourselves, the right hemispheres was separated, and so all of the information was held in record keeping crystals that were sporadically gridded around the earth in certain ley lines. Now they are starting that they've always held the information, but they've been waiting for us to raise our frequency so that we open up our abilities to be able to communicate with them. And it's kind of like a symbiotic thing where it goes together. We awaken, we start to be able to draw energy, information, wisdom from these crystalline grids and record keepers that held information about us living in the Atlantis Lemuria days. Now, we're not going exactly back to the Atlantis Lemuria days. We want to bring our logical brain on board as well. And we're bringing in, creating a whole new reality with this expansion of our reality. But these new gifts might start forming as in all of a sudden you've got a crystal and you feel like there's something in it that you never really saw. You never really felt as something that held information before. But now when you're holding it, it is giving you even more downloads, more information. Or it could be just that you're putting your feet in the earth and starting to feel like you're talking to Gaia herself. She talks through these crystals as well. So there's a whole heap of a range of new gifts when we start to become more clearer within our brain. That's just one of them. So, and I probably will do a portal going into these crystalline structures, into this new world that we're starting to create. Might come up. It's come up a little bit in this last video that I've done. Okay, I'll tell you what the title is. This first video I've created. I can't help myself. I'm too excited. Is all to do with going into the portals of the elementals. So that's the first one, and it is absolutely gorgeous what's come through. So when it's an initiation as well, so that when you watch it, you start to activate neuron paths in your brain that have been dormant, and being able to realize that you can start to talk to these elementals again. So the energy at the moment is that heightened. We've got to deal with our minds in the Virgo moon, and being able to handle it, see where our addictions are lying, because when we move into high frequencies, there are no addictions. And whether you are, say for instance, you were an alcoholic in the past and then you didn't have any alcohol for about 4 or 5 years, well, you're still addicted to it if it's still controlling you, if you're still concerned about it, if it's still worrying in your brain. So if you try it a little bit and then you realize it's not got the same amount of oomph, I don't want it anymore, then that means that, and I'm not saying go do that, please, if you're an alcoholic, and please don't follow my advice in that respect. This is all purely coming from your own, it's already happened to you. Like, these are people who have coming to me and said that that's what they did, and then they realized that it had cleared. I don't want you to follow my advice and go ahead as an alcoholic and go start drinking again. You would have already have got that pull to have done that. That's what the energy was. We've just come through that. So please don't go doing anything silly. It's up to you how you feel, and take responsibility of your own. This is just advice that I'm getting from my guides of what the energies are all like. You need to take responsibility for your own welfare and your own health. But also, these new grid lines are coming on board. We've got so much happening at the moment. And of course, on the other side of the light workers journey, we have the powers to be trying to keep us in a lockdown mode. But it's going to be a boomerang effect. It's not going to happen how they expect it to happen. They can't see into the future either. So they're at a crossroads within themselves. Okay, so I'll just do a few cards for the energy of this, what's happening at the moment. That was a lot of information. I didn't realize how much information I was going to be pouring through then. But let's get into the energy for the collective. Energy for the collective for the week coming. Energy for the collective for the week coming. We have our first card that just leapt out there. I'll just see if a couple more come out. Energy for the collective for the week coming. Energy for the collective for the week coming. So not surprised to see those cards. Energy for the collective for the week coming. Anything else? Okay, let's just take, there was actually 3. It's interesting. I wanted 3 and I thought there was only 2 that jumped out. So the first one that was hidden, first of all, the first one that stood out was understanding. Understanding that you are not imprisoned in a reality of a program. You are free. It's just that you have latched onto that bar there and thought, am I safe to 100% trust the unknown aspect of my right hemisphere and love? That was the other interesting thing that they come up. If you really sit with yourself, do you trust love? Do you trust that love will take you to the best life that you deserve? Do you trust that? Really sit with that, because a lot of us are like, well, no, I need my security blanket of my logical brain to tell me, all of the hoo-has that are going to come up just so I can protect myself. Or do you trust love? So understanding is bringing up that channel message as well. And underneath it was, we are the world. So understanding that we are we are in unity on this. There's a lot more of us that are on unity, that are ready to join hands with you and take this leap of faith. And when we do, and we are trusting love, all of everybody, it's like one jumps and then many jump, and then we are going to be starting to create this new reality outside of the old program where, oh, you need a hand, or you need some help, or oh yeah, I have a spare room, or there's it's a block of land here we can build on, or hey, I know how to build, or I know how to grow, and we start to become this new reality outside of the old program. And then there's nothing wrong with bringing in all of that amazing technological knowledge that we've been taught through the logical brain. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with any of the knowledge that we've got. It's who is in control of it. Is it you in your reality, creating and trusting with love the people that are around you, or are you in fear of those that have wielding their control over you? And the other message, the other card was the mind card. I'm not surprised that this came up because we are in Virgo season, and Virgos have had to deal with a lot more mind games. So it's kind of like, if you can deal with a Virgo mind, because it's constantly busy, constantly analyzing, overanalyzing everything, and for you to tap into that energy, whether you're a Virgo or not, is bringing up another level of awareness of being able to handle the mind, and then say, yep, I've got this. I don't need to, I know how it feels when I let go of it, and it feels so beautiful and so peaceful, and that's where I'm going. That's my home. So not surprised that came out. I will do some clarifier cards. Actually, you know what? I just feel like doing an shamanic animal card for this week. And then just see how much time we've got as well. So good to see everybody. And Brenta, love a reading. Yes, I'll do some readings in a minute. Annie, wow, beautiful. Annika, your happy enthusiasm, love, and imagination creation is great, and I can feel it from here. Well, we're all just doing our part. I'm no better than anyone else that's in my reality. We're all doing our part. I love it. Igniting each other as we go along. And isn't that cool? Okay, so the one that fell out was elk. Nobility. And this is where I feel we're going. So I'll just quickly read it out because there's a bit of writing down the bottom. But it says, celebrate your accomplishments with humanity. You are crowned with success. Powerful forces guide you. Your ability to conquer challenges is limitless. That so goes with all the information that I've been gifting you. So we are crowned with success. There's some new things coming on board. There's the activation of these crystalline ley lines held within Gaia that are holding a lot of wisdom about Atlantis, Lemuria. They're already in a higher vibration, but we are rising our vibration to meet theirs, and we're going to find a lot more information. We're going to step into our own nobility of ourselves. Powerful forces guide you. Your ability to conquer challenges is limitless. See, we can get through all of the addictions, all the programs. If we can get through all of that, can you imagine how free we're going to feel? We're going to feel so free within ourselves to be able to step forward. At the back of that was patience, heron. So even though, this is a weekly reading, We're still got to realize this is a progress that's happening, and be very aware of not getting hooked into the old program. Be very aware of what your reality and your existence is, and is that filled with love. That they just keep coming back to that information, because you can't carry the world on your shoulders. You just can't. It's not yours to carry. You've got to trust that everybody has the ability to also pull themselves through and take responsibility for themselves as well. So even when you're in a family dynamic, if you're constantly there helping somebody through something, you are not telling them that you trust them to take responsibility for their life. You're telling them that they're lacking and that they will always need you. So even with that dynamic, so we have to let go of the responsibility of what this program, the so-called powers to be, are programming us to believe that we need to be responsible and we need to fight their fights and all of that sort of stuff. But they're coming from a great lack within themselves. So they're putting out a lot of information that is trying to get us to fight their fights, to tell you the honest truth. Anyway, hello from Canada, Leanne. So good to have stumbled. So good to have you here, Flora. Okay, trust is tough, but gradual process. Matthew, Virgo, and Jupiter both given up medical cannabis for the last week, feeling much more fresher without it. Yeah, and as you raise your vibrations, you realize any sort of addictions don't have the same effect on you, because you're already sitting in the vibration that you were trying to reach back in the day. And with that outside influence, so you're trying to reach a certain vibration. So a lot of the light work is a lot of the beings that have come from higher frequencies do tend to get these addictions, because that's when they do feel more at home with the addictions. But now that the frequencies are lifting us out of that old program, we're starting to find blisses starting to wash over us. And when that happens, it's a natural process of lifting our vibration up. So if we go back to the addiction, it's all over the show and it doesn't feel as comfortable anymore. So that's cool. Okay, let's do a couple of free readings. I know everyone loves these, so I'll get out my cool Osho cards. Who would like a first free reading? I'll just go from this point on. Just say yes, and I will read for you. Like Leanne. Let's go there. Suzette. Okay. Michelle, Scorpio. I've got a Scorpio in my chart as well. Lots of passion and drive with Scorpios. Okay, who are we going for? We're going for Leanne. Let's focus on Leanne. Well, that just flew out and one dropped out. Okay, Leanne, you have two cards that flew out for you. The first card was Rebirth. Now, Rebirth is coming out of the mind. See, the camel is asleep and he's in the clouds and he's in the mind. And then he comes out and he's like, I've had enough of this. My mind is not leading me to where I want. I've had enough, and I'm stretching myself out into the lion and roaring, becoming the rebel of your life, until you realize it's not the rebel that you are really seeking. It is the innocent child within when you were young, very little, before the program came and indoctrinated you into this limited program. You were this innocent child of adventure. And they're really bringing out the flute for me for you. So music, maybe bring in some music into your reality so that you can lift your vibration into that innocence as well. Also, Pied Piper, he used to pipe the flute, and then people will start following. I think that you are literally going to be a leader in your reality, to help others, guide others, because that's what I'm seeing. The thing that just kind of fell out underneath the cards when I was shuffling them was comparison, but it was in reverse. So when we're comparing ourselves to others, we're always thinking we're either not good enough or they're better than us. So it's finally come to your realization. I feel that you've come to the realization that both are just as needed, and everybody has their own unique little fingerprint and DNA and all of that. So each being in your reality has something to offer, and you can also learn from too. Once you stop comparing yourself to others, you start to be able to open up to learn from others. So that's the message that I got for you, Leanne. Okay, who else have we got here? So I have to go back. Glad to start. Sorry, I'm just trying to find out where I was. Very cool. Sorry, I've lost my place. Suzette Knight. So I do intuitive counseling sessions and psychic readings. I have the link down below if you're curious about that. I will challenge you to become more and more authentic and see past the blockages that you might be holding on to, and then reactivate your soul and your real true gifts. So if you're interested in that, the link is below. So we are doing Suzette. Focus. Suzette. There's a bit of a messy feeling around you at the moment, Suzette. Just messy feeling. Just silence your mind. Your mind needs to silence. Just trust that silence. We don't trust it enough. We think that we need to constantly be thinking, making sure that everything's in order, that we're one step ahead of the game. We cannot be one step ahead of this game. This game is a whole brand new game with the activation of our imaginative, intuitive side. And the new game is silence. Once we start to really tap into that, we see the gifts that we can, once we've really found silence within ourselves, we can literally create our world as we go. We're no longer looking at our mind to protect us, which is focusing on something that we're bringing up again, and then we end up having that same issue over and over in our life. We're letting that go and trusting that the silence gives you space where you can say, what do I want? Trusting yourself and gaining what do you want to create in your world. This is the story that I'm going to focus on. I'm going to focus that the people around me are just going to chill out, and because I'm chilling out and that sort of thing. That's what I'm getting for you, Suzette. So who else? To the thing you mentioned today was sorting out stress in the body. I got all scrambled and I called in a wildflower energy, dandelions and buttercups. Really good. Oh, I love that, Flora. So cool. So cool. You're tapping into the plants and that they can gift you so much, can't they? Okay, so we have, I'm just going to go with the next person I see. Sorry if I've missed you. I don't like missing people, but sometimes it happens. Michelle. Let's go with Michelle. If I have missed you, just put it up again. Sorry. Michelle for this week. Michelle. Okay, Michelle, you got the card of courage. So really stepping out into you might need some courage around you this week. You might need to release, because it also the guilt, but it was in reverse. So I think you're letting go of guilt and you're getting the courage to do so. So there might be something that you're feeling into at the moment that's coming up for you. Could be from the past, a reoccurring sort of an event that's happening for you, and you need to see it for what it is, that you've been holding on to some sort of guilt around this topic. And when you release that guilt, you find the courage to become more authentically you again. Everything that's happened in the past was sometimes, well, a lot of it was happening because we had to pull ourselves down into a lower frequency to be able to find ourselves again. So to do that, we need to also release the guilt that those things happened, that you're not there now, that you don't want it to keep coming up in your life again and again. So to release the guilt of that, it's okay, that happened. I accept it now for what it was. I did the best I could with the information I had back then. And just because I knew more later on doesn't mean that I have to hold on to that guilt. It is a progressional step, as they're showing me steps moving into out of the well of guilt, and you will bloom. You will start to find courage within yourself, because it releases a space within your mind when you do that. And when it releases a space, you can start to feel like a lot lighter within yourself. See the flower that's growing through the rocks, and it's light. It's starting to find its own light. So that's what I get for you, Michelle. Was it? Yeah, Michelle. And now Kathy. Kathy. Card for Kathy, please. I'm just kind of sticking with my Osho cards today. I seem to have a few lessons coming up for us this week. So Kathy with the hearts. Kathy. Morality in reverse. Okay. Okay, morality in reverse. I'm just going to start with this feeling of a certain persona that you need to show yourself to the world. And because it's in reverse, they're asking you to let go of that persona. It's nothing to do with how people view you. It's everything to do with how you view you. And so morality to me, it feels like a feeling of, if the rest of the world acknowledges me as a nice, safe person, then I am a nice, safe person. But as soon as one person says to you, no, you're not, then you hold on to this, you'll feel really bad. You'll feel really bad about yourself. And so to release this, there is a process of allowing yourself to become more aware of your own lacks, of who you are, and not look outside for anybody to support you, that you're turning it all back on yourself and going, I am supporting me and I trust who I am. I'm not going to learn to trust who I am. And each step that I move, whether it goes with you, goes in favor of your opinion of me or not, does not matter anymore, because I know that I am coming from my heart, and I always come from my heart. And that is enough for me to step into this power. I don't need to, because you can't address everybody else's opinion of you. It's impossible. They change all the time anyway, through their own addictions and their own lacks and their own controlling ways. So the only way that you can truly find peace within yourself is to know 100% you always come from your heart. And I know you do. So you need to step into that power of that, and know, and whether you do something that's going against the grain of somebody else has nothing to do with, you just say, too bad, how sad. I'm doing this because it's coming from my heart and I trust that. So that's a pretty powerful lesson for you. Who else have we got here? Well, that just jumped up. Matthew. So interesting. I haven't had hardly any trolls on this channel or anything. It's been a very clear channel for a while now. I even asked Matthew to watch out because I know that he just naturally does. But haven't even needed you, Matthew. Okay, Matthew. Okay, Matthew, you're going through some healing at the moment, and that's a good thing. They're asking you to go with the flow with this and trust. Don't hold on to the side of the river and try to fight it. Just trust it and go through the emotions with it. It's clearing you for the next frequency up. You are activating your heart chakra is standing out for me. They're literally covering, and I'm literally seeing that hand is covering your mind. It's kind of like when we're activating your heart chakra, there's something there. They're covering different parts of your chakras so that you can activate them, each one feeling into what needs clearing, what doesn't need clearing. So through this procedure, they're asking you to just go with the flow, and emotions might be coming up, triggering whatever, cry, do whatever you need to do in that moment. Go excuse yourself and just sit with the feeling and just trust that it's all happening for you, not to you at the moment. So that was for you, Matthew. Jules. Yeah, and thank you very much. You're very welcome. Hey, Mark. I love this beautiful community. So, Jules. I have for you, Jules. Okay, so we have innocence that came out. So stepping into you from an innocent point of view. This is very much a living in the moment card too, because a small child will always be living in the moment. They don't have the hoo-ha of what ifs clouding their judgment. They're just present with the beautiful reality of, that they're adventure that they're stepping into. But you also got, and this one flew out, postponements. So I'm feeling like you might feel like there's something that's postponing, that you keep on postponing, and you're not sure if it's you or whether you're postponing it or whether it's the energies. They're telling me, because it flew right out, that it's the energies. It's just hang in there a bit longer for this thing that you're trying to manifest or bring into your reality. Just hang in there a little longer. The energies are also playing, working with this as well. So it's still coming, and it's not going to be postponed forever, they're telling me. So whatever that is about, that's what I'm feeling for you. Flora. Michelle, I'm taking a beginner tarot card on Sunday. Hope to learn how to read tarot cards. Oh, cool. Love that. Just anything we can do to connect to our soul more and trust our intuition is just a beautiful game. It's fun too. So there's some really good YouTubes on board too, so you can look them up as well, Michelle, on how to use tarot cards too. That might help. So Flora, you got going with the flow is coming out a fair bit. So this is obviously for the general as well, to just trust this all these energies that are happening. We've got to start to trust love again. But you also have intensity. Now, these are totally opposite of each other. One is, I know where I'm going and I'm going to do it, and I know exactly what I'm doing now and I'm going for it. Boom. And I don't care if I create ripples and everybody else is getting frustrated with me. I know who I am and I know where I'm going and I'm going to do it. And then there's going with the flow. And then there's I'm knowing it. So it feels like you're doing both. Like there's moments in your life where you, and this is a good thing actually, when we're trusting the game of these new energies, we can literally let go and go with the flow and just trust life. And then, I know where I'm going now, with intensity, and you just go for it and don't worry about anything else but yourself and where you're going, because you know it's worth it. And then you'll step back and start going with the flow again. So balancing with these this week, allowing it to happen like that would be really good for you, Laura. Okay, can you read for me, Lizzie? We have creativity, but it's in reverse. So with creativity, of course, it's using our imagination to start creating something new in our reality and bring it in. What do you want to do next? Because it's in reverse, then it is literally asking you to become more creative with your life and step into more of that creative juices. What's going to excite you? And it doesn't matter what it is. It really does not matter. It's the passion that is the force of the passion that's driving you, that lifts your vibration higher, more than the actual action of what it creates in the end. Although they are also telling me that in the end, you're going to create something quite wonderful out of this. So maybe just sit back for a while and really feel into, write up all of the things that you want to create for yourself. What's some ideas? Like get some ideas for inspirations written down, and then you might just go, you know what, I want to try something different this week, and close your eyes and do this and just pull one out of the hat kind of thing and point to one and go, that's what I'm going to do. Am I excited? But always ask yourself, am I excited about it now? And if you are, then go for it. If you're not, don't do it. You want to follow your passions, even if you do close your eyes. And I don't know, it was some silly little game that they brought up with me. I think they wanted to make it a bit more fun for you so that you can have variety. You need a variety of some things happening in your life just to shake things up for you. It's been a bit stagnant. A bit stagnant for you. So this week, maybe get into creating a little bit more for yourself. Okay, who have we got else? Who else have we got? Did I do you, Jules? Not sure. I don't think I did. Jules. Rainbow Warrior. Yay, you've made it. I won't choose that card, Jules, because I wasn't focused on it. Jules. This family is such a beautiful little community. I'm loving it. High vibes. Okay, Jules, you got breakthrough, but it was in reverse, and receptivity. So breakthrough in reverse is there's a blockage around you breaking through into something new. They're asking you to sit still and receive. Okay, so for this breakthrough to come through for you, You need to learn to receive. Receiving is a feminine nurturing side of ourselves that we've been programmed out of. Receiving is always got a feeling of lack of self-worth in receiving. So address your lack of self-worth with this week. See where you're feeling. If someone gave you just for nothing, just gave you $1,000, and this literally did happen to me, and my guides told me, you're going to receive a gift soon because you're asking for abundance. When this gift happens, you're not allowed to say, no, I'm not going to accept it, or it's too much, or I don't think I'm worth it, or anything like that. You're just allowed to say thank you, because I'm like, yeah, of course I will. Of course I will. And when it actually happened a few days later, someone dropped $1,000 in my PayPal account. When that happened, I had to look into myself and go, I'm only allowed to say thank you, because that's what I had the conversation with my guides about. So, and doing that, it literally was, I realized how difficult it was. It wasn't as easy as what I thought. And so I saw through the blockage of my own self-receiving. And that's what they're asking you to do, because there's a breakthrough. There's a breakthrough that's happening for you. It's coming up for you soon. It's like something that's just going to smash everything, so that you end up receiving your self-worth that you're really, really authentically worth. And that's a lot. That's a lot. So that's kind of cool. Okay. You're welcome, Matthew. Okay. Who else have we got? My link has been really... Thank you so much. Really resonated from Michelle. I'm glad these are resonating. That's fantastic. Okay, David. What about a card for Gaia, Bobby? Yeah, okay, Mark, I'll do that. David, and then I'll do a card for Gaia. David, you're receiving some information. You're okay. They are healing you at the moment. They're healing you and getting you ready to connect to your soul tribe, to be able to hear wisdom coming from Akashic records. They're telling me your soul tribe is wanting to connect with you. It's a inner voice within yourself of self-acceptance, that when this wisdom comes through, you have more understanding of who you are. But you're going through a healing process for this week to shift certain disalignments, blockages. It's like fractal, like they're showing me misplaced pieces, almost like a jigsaw puzzle where something looked like it fit, but it really wasn't the right piece. And so to take it out, we have to learn to heal ourselves, to let go, to be able to let that piece go in the right place, to be able to find the right piece to put in the new place, so that you can hear your inner voice and the wisdom of your soul tribe coming in. So that's what I got for you. Okay, let's do one for Gaia. It's a good idea, Mark. Gaia. Whenever I'm tapping into Gaia at the moment, I'm feeling she is very happy with the progress of so many of us, and it's exciting for her how many are actually literally coming on board with this higher frequency, and recognizing the connection to her. In one way or another, we're all got a different connection to her. the wisdom that's coming through too from the from Atlantis and Lemuria age coming back. It's going to I'm feeling she's saying it's going to surprise people with their abilities coming on board. So, it's funny, the courage card just kind of stuck out of the pack then, but the first card that we got for Gaia was compromise. Compromise is a card of we can, join hands with each other and not be our authentic self. So we compromise for everybody. And then we lose our power in that compromising energy. And not to compromise with Gaia. She has a clear path, purpose of humanity and where we can be guided, not to compromise with her of, okay, I'll trust her to this point only, and then I'm not going to trust her past that point because my logical brain's telling me that's impossible. She wants you to literally let go of that compromise of yourself, because there's a way more gifts coming to you. Traveling was in reverse. So I really, we're still homebound at the moment. We're still, especially the light workers, are still, the reflection of the energies keeping us still in a lockdown, because eventually that lockdown is going to burst open, and we are going to find freedom to be able to travel wherever we want. And the adventures are so amazing. Now, that I also had a discussion about teleporting. I've got friends that are over in USA, and I'm having this discussion of maybe we've been, squeezed to the point where we can't travel and all of that stuff because it's squeezing us into the new gifts coming on board to be able to teleport. And even my logical brain's going, really? That's quite a big ask. But I do feeling like she doesn't want you to compromise on this. There's some new adventures coming, and she wants to be able to share it with you. So let go of that proverbial safety blanket. There's new gifts coming on board. So that's what I'm getting for Gaia. Now, I think I will leave it there. So till next week, I am doing once a week. Please, if you're interested in my intuitive counseling sessions, just link on to my website down below, click on that, and you will have an hour-long Zoom call with me. And please look out for my brand new series. My brand new series is taking you into new realities, new each video that I'm doing, and they take a long time for me to create these, but they are gifting you initiations into different frequencies that we have long forgotten. We're talking new earths, different higher state of beings. We're talking crystals, we're talking witches, we're talking elementals. All of that sort of juicy stuff that has been shut down and tainted by our logical brain to say it doesn't exist, because through my whole entire life I've been shown and gifted those places, taken their experience for real, these different beings. I can tap into them, bring them up, create these beautiful videos and share them with you guys to ignite yous, and then you take those gifts and go even further with them, and then we create. This how we're going to start creating this brand new world. Love you guys heaps. You're all beautiful and juicy for me. I'm very, very grateful. Thank you. Bye. Bye.